Call to order the Open Space, Land Acquisition, and Farmland Preservation Subcommittee, regularly scheduled Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, meeting at 6 p.m. We are running about 15 minutes late, waiting for some of our experts to show up for our agenda, but unfortunately, we're not going to have them. They're unable to make the meeting, so we will go forward with a staff update from Ray Carpentino.
You do want to approve the minutes first? Approval of minutes?
Do I have a motion to approve the last minutes? Yep.
Okay.
Do we have the date of the last meeting? I don't see it.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
August 23rd.
August 23rd. I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 23rd meeting.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The minutes pass. Any folks from the public that would like to come to the podium to speak tonight? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, we will move on to staff update in place of the Yukon landscape architecture team and in place of the Zuvik environmental team.
Quick explanation as to why neither party is here. Yukon and Zuvik had met this afternoon, and Zuvik had had their contractor flag the wetland areas, and the wetland area is much larger than originally thought. And there were some additional remedial steps that had to be taken for the contamination that really threw off the Yukon plan, the plans we've been looking at quite a bit. So Peter Minuti felt that the differences were too great for him to come. So he called me, said he wasn't coming. However, Zuvik never contacted me. So there was a confusion there, because I thought Zuvik can come in here, discuss the plans. However, that's not going to happen. Again, because of the wetland issues, the community garden area is, the wetland area is much larger in that area, so that's going to have to be relocated or altered fairly significantly. Some of the grading based on zoning wetlands will have to be altered, as well as the remedial action steps for some of the contamination. Some of that grading is going to have to be altered. So the Yukon plan will have to be changed. Peter Minuti was not satisfied coming tonight without making those revisions. On another note, the demo, as you all know, the house is gone. The land is stabilized, planted. So the next step there is to wait until the remediation is and the grading is done, and then we can start cutting some trees and, probably go out to bid.
May I ask a question?
First, I'm going to go to Councilor Duff for questions to staff.
Sure. So, Ray, I'm not sure if we know the extent what the changes are, but in thinking about some of the activity that were in that area, I think it was mostly a walking trail and then also the community gardens. In terms of the wetlands activity, usually I think the restricted activity would be things like construction or soil moving, things like that. Like, does it just change the design of what they have to bring, or is there something else that we think might substantially change the use of that part?
We don't know yet. That's what we were going to talk about tonight.
And this happened this afternoon, so it's all very fresh and they're digesting it. Okay, I see. All right.
Go to Fran for questions.
No questions.
Fran Whalen. Sandy Kelly.
Thank you. So we don't know, my question is about the barn. We don't know if the barn's going to be impacted, location?
The barn maybe have to, remember how Peter wanted it up a little bit higher? It's going to have to come down a little bit lower, probably closer to where originally we were talking about a year ago, a little bit lower towards the fields, to the flatter area, which is not a bad thing, really, because that way we don't have to worry about walkout basements and grading up into the back area. The roadway may have to move that access, linear access way may have to be relocated. But these are all, this type of thing is common in development. You put it on a plan, you do a concept, and then even when you get an engineering plan down, that's going to change a bit too. Things get tweaked. It'll come back next meeting, or whenever they're ready. We can have a special meeting if you like. We can bring that back, they can talk about it, show us what the changes are, and then we can tweak that a bit, hopefully.
Thank you.
All set, Kelly? Brian Clemens?
No questions this time.
Okay, so I have a couple questions following along with Counselor Duff is on the wetlands. I'm thinking variance, right? I'm thinking they can go before the Wetlands Commission and show them what we're doing to the extent that it could still fit in, and it's still, is it maybe in the buffer and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, as you know, there's a 100-foot buffer area.
Yeah.
So not necessarily, I don't think we're going to be doing work in the wetland area. We may be doing work within the buffer area. Maybe within the riparian zone, we want to clean that up, as was mentioned in the Yukon plan.
So the wetlands are now completely flagged?
They are.
So I'm suggesting to our committee that maybe we have a special meeting on site so we could see the wetland mapping.
Site walk?
That makes sense to everybody? Get an on-site before our meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting. So I don't know what date or time works.
It would help if we have the wetland map with us so you can see, because usually they're just, tags on a tree. So we need to,
Yeah, right.
if I can get the wetland map.
Okay. All right, so contingent on getting the wetland map in a timely fashion, we're going to wait for staff to send us an invite for a special meeting, and we'll try to make that work for everybody. And it won't be 6 o'clock at night, I don't think.
No.
Because we're losing daylight, so it's going to have to be maybe a morning thing, or?
Morning would be good, or even like at
We've
3
done
o'clock.
them,
3 o'clock.
We've done them on like a Saturday morning. I don't want to do it a Saturday morning, but it's, we're, a weekend morning might, at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or 9 o'clock, we could go and it shouldn't take us long to scope it out, but let's wait and see what you come back with, Ray. Thank you. Excavation, now that the houses are done, any time frame on that? Are we going to start pushing dirt around? Not to any degree yet.
No, not until the remedial action plan is approved and we go out to bid for a contractor to do the site work.
So this is similar to the house. Everything that has to go out to bid because it's state money.
State
Yeah.
funding.
Yeah. And then, no, I think that's it for me, unless there's any other questions from the,
Well, Councilor Malero is not here to ask, but in terms of our overall project plan, does this impact the timing of that based on, like, did they bake in some sort of reconfiguration as part of like a contingency window? How do we feel about the overall project and the timeline we've been working off of?
I think we're fine. We plan on going out to bid during the winter. We can still do that. This modification is probably always in the works anyway, always planned for. I know, based on the conceptual plan from Yukon, you can tell that it's a conceptual plan. Zuvik is doing the engineering plan, and you always assume they're not going to match. There's always modification.
Thank you.
thanks, Ray. We were all looking forward to that presentation, so in any event, moving along down the agenda, the only thing left on our agenda that we have is to approve the dates and times for the 2023 meeting dates and times, which you have in your packet online, and it remains the fourth Tuesday of the month, beginning at 6 p.m., unless noted in the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I will make a motion to approve our 2023 schedule of meetings as proposed.
I'll second. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Aye. The meeting dates and times are approved. Have a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.